Hello, this is News Plus on Viewer Television. I am Franco Boniface. President Bola Ahmed TINUBU has sent commiseration to the government and people of the Republic of India over a multiple train crash in the country, which killed over 280 passengers. The fatal crash, including 2 passenger trains and a goods train in the Indian city of Balasore in the eastern state of Odisha, occurred on Friday, June 2nd. Aside from those killed, over 900 others were injured in the crash, described as one of the worst rail crashes in recent history. President TINUBU described the train accident as heart-rending while consoling the Indian government and families of the victims. This was disclosed in a statement by Abdulaziz, his media aide, on Saturday, June 3rd. Then the federal government said it is considering an increase in the national minimum wage to reflect the current economic realities in the country. This was as the controversy trailing the federal government's removal of fuel subsidy and the subsequent increase in the price of premium motor spirit took a fresh turn on Friday when the Nigerian Labour Congress threatened to embark on a nationwide strike on Wednesday. NLC specifically cautioned that it will not go back on its decision to withdraw its services should the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited fail to reverse the increase of the price of PMS to 184 per litre. The Workers' Union had, during its emergency National Executive Council meeting in Abuja, directed its affiliates, including State Council and industrial unions, to mobilize workers for a nationwide strike in protest if nothing was done by the federal government to embrace the status quo as far as the price of petrol was concerned. Now the police command in Oyo State says it has recovered national weapons at Diamond Hotel, a hideout allegedly being used by the wanted former chairman of Oyo Park Management Disciplinary Committee, Mukaila Lamidi, aka Auxiliary. The command spokesperson, SP Adewale Oshifesa, disclosed this in a media briefing at the command's headquarters, Eleyele in Ibadan. Oshifesa said the weapons were recovered upon execution of a search warrant on Wednesday at the hotel owned by Auxiliary, who has since been declared wanted by the police. Weapons recovered, according to the spokespersons, include 70 rounds of AK-47 ammunition, 400 cutlasses, 400 pieces of live cartridges, 13 pieces of 9mm ammunition, and 1 pump-action rifle. According to Oshifesa, further investigation into the matter is ongoing. The National Population Commission said a new date for the national census was yet to be fixed, but it would be done by the federal government. NNPC said its focus is to ensure that all resources expended are safeguarded ahead of the 2023 population and housing census in the country. The NPC's Federal Commissioner in Ebonyi, Darlington Okereke, said this at a one-day breakfast meeting for media executives in Abakaliki. Okereke said to the safeguard was necessary to avoid starting preparations all over when a new date is fixed. The Commissioner noted that it had carried out all the preparatory activities towards the census exercise, including the enumeration, area demarcation, and conduct of pre-test and trial census, among others. The Lamidia Papa faction of the Labour Party has urged its presidential candidate, Peter Obi, to step down his case at the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal for lack of merit. According to the faction, the advice became necessary following the incident which happened at the tribunal on Thursday. Recall that the court had stepped down hearing of the petition filed by Peter Obi, the LP, against the election of the presidential Bola TINUBU. The faction National Publicity Secretary Abayomi Arabambi raised these issues during a press conference in Abuja. He told journalists that Obi has failed to provide any concrete evidence to back these claims since the tribunal began sitting. The immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has refuted rumors that he is planning to switch from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress after meeting with President Bola Tinubu. Wike, along with Seyi Makinde and James Iboro, met with Tinubu to offer him support 4 days after he was sworn in as the president of Nigeria. Wike, a chieftain of the PDP, dismissed rumors that he was planning to join the APC and denied that switching to the APC was on the agenda of the meeting. When asked if switching to the APC was on the agenda of the meeting he had, Wike said nothing like that is in the offing. We'll be going on a short break, and when we return, News Plus continues, so stay tuned.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm at the Envoy Hotel, Diplomatic Drive 305, here for a business weekend. It's been an amazing stay. Conference hall and business facilities here are stylish and innovative. The Envoy Hotel is luxury, esoteric, opulence, for ultimate comfort.
Discerning travelers, we are more than just a place to stay. We are an icon of comfort, style, and thoughtful luxury. We are Envoy Hotel.
In this 21st century, where all the information we need is now in the palm of our hands. News from around the world, entertainment, celebrity gossip, sports, and much more. The only thing that you need is the right source. Viewer TV is now on the go. Simply check us out on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter for all the information you need.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is News Plus on Viewer Television. The Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf in the early hours of Saturday commenced the demolition of buildings on public lands which he termed illegal. Already a three-story building with 90 shops on a raised cause of by filling Sukwa, Nasarawa State GRA was brought down around 2 a.m. on Saturday, becoming the first victim of the demolition campaign. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, an engineer by profession, to show his commitment to the demolition exercise, led the removal of the illegal buildings accompanied by the State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Gumel. It could be recalled that Abba Kabir Yusuf, shortly after being declared governor-elect, threatened to demolish buildings in the state on public properties. This is the first demolition carried out after assuming office on Monday, May 29th. The new commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in Zamfara, Sani Mustafa, has warned personnel against molestations of civilians. The commandant gave the warning while taking over the leadership of the command in Gusau. The commandant, who also warned the personnel against extortion, however, enjoined them to be firm and professional in the discharge of their duties. He pledged to give all his strength and talent in the fight against insecurity and all forms of criminalities in the state. Earlier, the outgoing Commandant Bello Muazu thanked the officers and men for their support and cooperation during his 7-month tour of duty in the state. Now on fuel subsidy, the Trade Union Congress has urged the federal government to revert to status quo until its decision to remove fuel subsidy. The TUC President Festus Osifo spoke while addressing newsmen at the end of an emergency meeting of the Congress National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. According to Osifo, the TUC is unhappy with the unilateral decision of the federal government to remove the subsidy. He said the TUC's expectations was that the government should have engaged organized labor, according to Osifo. It is how the government reacts to TUC's demands that will determine the union's next line of action. Then the governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Mufwan, has sworn in the secretary of the government of the state, architect Samuel Jatau, and the attorney general and commissioner of the justice, Barrister Philemon Daffy, in a ceremony at the Yakubu Gowon Victoria Hall, New Government House, Rayfield, Jos. Mufwan says all appointments into his cabinet will be based on merit. Our correspondent Nasir Saidu tells us more.
This gathering is to set the ball rolling for the new government in Plateau State. It is the swearing-in of the Secretary to the Government and the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice. Governor Caleb Mufwan says the position is to lay foundation for a serious business.
I'm impressed the enthusiasm that I'm seeing about the need for Plateau State to move forward and take a new direction is dear to my heart. And by the grace of God, we are going to lead in that regard. We are not here to witch hunt anybody, but we want to ensure that the system works efficiently. And in the coming days, we are going to make appointments. And let me say this, there is no need to get agitated. By the grace of God, we are going to look out first for merit, because we must move Plateau forward. Secondly, I'd like to assure you that we'll ensure that there is good spread across the state.
While thanking the governor for the appointments, the Attorney General asks for the support of Plateau people.
God brought us on duty at this time for a purpose. And the purpose is to accomplish his purpose which he has proposed from time immemorial. Now, therefore, two things we covet from you. Hold our hands in prayer. 2, God give you bended knees for our sakes. that His Excellency will have political will, political will, political will to do what is right.
Barrister Caleb Mutfwang has offered himself to come and provide leadership, to move Plateau State forward, to propel Plateau State forward. And he is coming with a private sector-driven mindset. So things are going to move very quickly, like he said. I will urge our brothers and sisters, the constituency I come from, that's the civil service, to tighten their seatbelts, because things are not going to be done the same old way that they used to be done. We are going to move at a very fast pace.
Plateau people are looking forward to more political appointments in the coming days that will shape the state into a greater height. Nasser Seidu, VOA TV News, Jos.
The Association of Local Government Chairmen in Plateau State has frowned at the suspension of the 17 local government council chairmen in the state, describing it as an act of witch hunt. The 17 chairmen were speaking at the press briefing with journalists at NUJ Secretariat in Jos, the Plateau State capital. Nasser Saidu reports.
Following the suspensions of the 17 local government council chairmen in Plateau State as directed by the State House of Assembly and approved by the Governor of Plateau State, Algon chairman in Plateau State alongside other council chairmen rejected the suspension in totality.
If we do indeed understand the actions contemplated by the State Assembly, it was a mere resolution which is advisory to the Governor. In any case, distinguished guests, members of the press, such advice will not override existing legislation establishing the local government councils as enshrined in the Constitution, which is domesticated by relevant laws on the same subject matter in Plateau State. We have gone through the Plateau State local government law, and we have found out that there is no part or whole of the law donating such powers to the House of Assembly. The powers of the House of Assembly may neither be used to encumber or to smooth operations of the local councils, nor request or recommend the governor to suspend, remove any local government chairman or councillor. It is unlawful, and it is targeted at more or less what one could describe as political vendetta, and therefore it has no place in our law, and therefore it shouldn't be allowed to stand.
Earlier, Jos South Local Government Chairman Gideon Dandaren says they remain local government chairmen until their tenure expires.
We have a constitution, and that constitution is binding on everybody. The local government, by the divination of the constitution of this country, is the third tier of government, and by the provision of Section 7, local governments are elected democratically. And we want to thank God that in Plateau State, we were elected for a period of 3 years. And yes, even by the laws that has given the House of Assembly the right to govern over the administration of the local government, they have adopted a presidential system of local government at the local government level. So in the local government, we have our legislature, which if we aid, they are the ones to sanction us, not Plateau State House of Assembly by the divination.
As it is now, Plateau people wait to see how events will unfold on whether the chairman will still maintain their position or the suspension stands. Nasser Seidu, VOA TV News, Jos.
On national development, Taraba State Governor Abu Kifa said that the People's Democratic Party (PDP) remains the only solution to the problems confronting the country. The governor stated this when receiving the acting national chairman of the PDP at the Government House, Jalingo. The report.
Receiving his August visitor, the governor of Taraba State, retired Colonel Agbukefas, told him that the PDP remains the solution to the problems confronting the country. He said a visit of the acting national chairman will spur him to pursue vigorously his strategic developmental plan for the state. However, the governor reassures Tarabans of his determination to do what is expected of him as governor of the state.
My good people of Taraba State, I want to assure you that you have not made the wrong choice. We are here for you. We will do what is right. We will unite ourselves together so that we can make progress.
The acting national chairman of the PDP, Umar Damagu, told the governor that he was in the state to congratulate him on his inauguration. He explains that PDP National Executive decided to delegate its members to attend various PDP governors' inauguration to show solidarity. He says he has no doubt that the governor will deliver on his mandate considering his wealth of experience and pedigree.
Taraba is lucky to have this kind of I want to once again congratulate you and also tell Tarabians that today you have found in him somebody that can keep PDP in Taraba for the next.
The occasion was attended by the State Deputy Governor Alhaji Aminu Alkali, Speaker, and some members of the State House of Assembly, among others. Lindegwana, VOA TV News, Jalingo.
A total of 205 young volleyball stars comprising males and females from all over Nigeria have converged to jostle for a call into the National Volleyball Under-17 team. This development is coming following the African Volleyball Confederation's decision to give Nigeria a hosting right for the Under-17 competition slated for September 2023. The scouting for fresh players and that will host the flag of Nigerian higher and make the nation proud in sport has commenced.
At home and start selecting our brothers and sisters to come to camp. So we have done the screening this morning to screen out overage players and also those that we feel their heights for now will not be beneficial for this competition. The Federation is accommodating them and feeding them, and they'll be given some transport subsidy to go back.
The primary way so far is the fact that those players are interested to play. They want to play, right? Now, it's left for we, the coaches, to imbibe the right character in them. Because the primary thing that you need is for the players to have the interest to want to play. These players that are here have the interest. I think the bulk of the work right now is on our heads, coaches. Because if we fail these kids, knowing what they have in their hearts, I think Nigeria will be disappointed with us. And of course, we are going to dampen into their future.
It's privilege for me to be. I'm happy that I'm here. I will work harder and I will put my best to be among who we are going to select. So that's what I think.
Not 100% sure because in volleyball, height advantage is also harder. If I'm picked, it's going to be the glory. It's God that it's His grace that I'm picked. But I'm still hoping that with the game I'm going to play, I should prove them wrong that the height is not the only thing, but the game is the thing that is involved too.
The competition is slated for 3 days as the young athletes slog it out for the top spot. You're still watching News Plus on VOA Television. International news comes to you right after the break, so stay tuned. Then on international news, Turkey's long-term leader Recep Tayyip Erdogan took the oath of office on Saturday, ushering in his third presidential term that followed 3 stints as prime minister. Erdogan won a new 5-year term in a round of presidential race last week that could stretch his 20-year rule in the key NATO country that straddles Europe and Asia into a quarter century. The country of 85 million controls NATO's second largest army, host millions of refugees, and play a crucial role in brokering a deal that allowed the shipment of Ukraine grain, averting a global food crisis. Erdogan was sworn in during a session in parliament before an inauguration ceremony at his sprawling palace complex. Supporters waited outside parliament despite the heavy rainfall covering his car with red carnations as he arrived. Then, on the rail accident, no fewer than 288 people have been confirmed dead and over 1,000 others injured in a tragic accident involving 3 trains in the city of Balasore in eastern Odisha State, Indian officials described the tragic incident, which occurred around 7 p.m. on Friday, as India's worst rail trail accident in over 20 years. In a tweet, India's President Draupadi Murmu expressed sadness over the incident. Pradeep Jina, the chief secretary in the state of Odisha, said 24 fire service units, local police, and volunteers are working tirelessly in search and rescue. Indian initiative of 1.4 billion transports 13 million passengers by train daily and 8 billion annually. Israel's military said 3 of its soldiers and a gunman were killed near the border with Egypt on Saturday, and a military spokesperson said a group had infiltrated the frontier, leading to a firefight. It was said the gunman and a third Israeli soldier were killed in a confrontation inside Israeli territory hours later. Egyptian sources said a group of armed men, possibly smugglers, had shot an Israeli security condo, leading to an exchange of fire. According to Israeli military spokesperson, said the soldiers had been shot while on duty early on Saturday, and their bodies were found later. The Israeli military later identified an infiltration into Israeli territory, and its forces were fired on, leading to a gunfight in which the gunman and the third Israeli soldier were killed, it said. And that's all on News Plus. Many thanks for watching. I am Franco Boniface. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.